Hey, what's up guys? This is a brand new gameplay with Buzzswole in the brand new season of Pokemon Unite here. So the build that we got for the emblem page, we got orange and whites. So that's what we got for the emblem. So a little bit of an orangey crit based for Buzzswole. And as for held items, I have muscle band, weakness policy, and an attack weight. And for the build that we're playing Leech Life Lunge. I still think Leech Life Lunge is still Tyranitar's best play set, especially if you can get that. If you want to replace the weakness policy, I'd recommend switching that to a Razor Claw, just so you can get some guaranteed crits in there. So here, the early game is kind of a bit slow. It doesn't pick up until late to mid game, and honestly, as Buzzswole, you want to be in the enemy's face right now, especially if another thing you could replace weakness policy with is a focus band, so that way you can just be in the enemy's face as much as you can. Here I go down as a complete misplay. I do get a stack, but at the cost of leaving my team, especially an EV, the early stages by itself makes it very difficult for them to carry and just be good there. But they do manage to pop off. They get the enemy Tyranitar. Here, the enemy Absol does show up, but we're not worried about it. We almost KO it. I think our Glaceon does in fact KO it. There it goes, getting its buffs. So that's a really good thing for us. I go for another stack. Do manage to pull it off here. I'm like backing off a little bit because I'm low HP and I'm not level 5 yet. So here we're just doing that. All right, the enemy Absol is back, and we almost KO'd it. I almost could have gotten it, but just missed it by a hair. So I'm just trying to get my level 5, because once you get to level 5 as Buzzswole, you can really turn around the game, especially if you're in a losing lane. So if we were losing badly and I get my level 5, Buzzswole can really wake up and really pick up the pace. But we're not really losing. We're not really picking fights with the enemies. They're not picking fights with us. So it's kind of just overall a good time between both sides. We're kind of just fighting over the XP that is in lane. So here we have still Glaceon, me, the enemy Pupitar, and Ivysaur. So I'm going to go mid. It's a bit late, so I don't expect anything there. But I do manage to get my level 5 off of that, so I can get Leech Life. So with stacking and Leech Life, you can really do a lot of damage with that. So here, we get that, and I'm like trying to get another stack in, because if I get another stack in, you can do good. And with weakness policy, I mean, if they're damaging me, I'm doing a lot more damage with weakness policy. Get another stack in there, getting us close to 6 stacks. And here I am. Watch this. Look at how much I almost could have one-shot the enemy Pupitar with just 1 Leech Life. That's how crazy this build is. If you want to check it out, check it out. Here, I'm fighting the enemy Ivysaur on their base. That's how crazy Buzzswole is. I just don't care. I have my rage meter filled up, and I almost get him, but he is healing because he is in his base. Fortunately, I do go down to the enemy Absol and the enemy Pupitar, but Glaceon is Glaceon, and Glaceon is just crazy broken as well. So the good thing that we're doing is we're kind of XP gating the enemy Tyranitar. We're keeping Tyranitar as a Pupitar by just knocking him out. We're just stealing his experience, because he's just not good at securing things. Here I'm doing a little bit of a misplay by chasing down that Absol, because I could have prevented Regieleki from going in. Luckily, I don't think any of the enemy actually takes advantage of that and tries to score, because the enemy Absol goes all the way down bot. So none of the enemy really goes to score on that, which is kind of a misplay on them. Here I go for the bees, or birds, whatever you want to call them. And I get my level 9 off of that, and I get my Unite move. Really, Buzzswole is the best Pokemon if you want to focus on one enemy. So my job would be, I gotta focus on the Absol, the Venusaur. If I can just get one of them down, I can easily knock them out. So let's talk a little bit about importance of either Regieleki or bottom Regis. So as we all know, the basement or the bottom bot lane has 3 Regis. Here I'm stealing the enemy's buffs. If you can try to do that, try it, because it just lowers his experience here. I also do a little misplay here by using my Unite. I don't think I needed it, but I didn't want to die to the enemy Absol while I was stealing their buffs. But anyways, back to the Regis. There's been a lot of debates on which Regi you should go for. Should you go for Regieleki or basement Regis? Personally, it kind of just depends on what the situation is here. See, it would have been beneficial for us if we get the basement Regis, and for the enemy, it would be beneficial for them to get the Regieleki, just because it's another thing that does damage to us. It's not like it's going to be free. Here we see that the basement Regis aren't up, but the good thing about the basement Regis is Registeel gives you a little shield, Regi Ice gives you healing, I think, and Regirock gives you a buff on special attack, I think. So here the Tyranitar is finally Tyranitar, but still not a match, still not that big of a deal for us. Here we are pushing Regieleki. Now this could be a really big misplay on our side, just because they have jump pads on us. So here I get one, and then I go for the second one, I stack, and then we see the Gardevoir, and I get Gardevoir as well. But as I was saying, that's going to be a really big misplay, because they do have jump pads and they can easily jump on us and do a lot of damage towards us, because they are getting healed if the Regi doesn't go in. Luckily for us, the Regi did go in, so they are not getting healed on the tower. So there's that. Here, me and Aegislash can take care of the enemy Venusaur. Kind of overextends, and that's why I taunt him right there. So here, the team is calling for a gather here at Registeel. Now this can be really good, because like I said, it gives the entire team a shield and experience, and it's just really good. Here our Fennekin does a little bit of a misplay by using its Unite against the Tyranitar that was already really low, but luckily we do get Gardevoir's Unite out of that, because it panics Unite. That's another thing you don't want to do, is panic Unite. Make sure to hold on to your Knights as much as you possibly can. So here I'm going up because I see that that the enemy Absol has taken out our Venusaur. So I'm like, maybe it's still there. I'm going to recall, because I see that we have a lot of experience on top lane that is just being there. So I'm going to go there. But luckily, I jump in the right time, because the enemy Absol is there. We do get an Absol Unite, Panic Unite from Absol, like 10 seconds before Rayquaza. Unfortunately, I'm not able to KO it, but I know that the enemy Absol doesn't have its Unite, making it really good for us against this enemy. Here I'm just checking bushes, because that's Buzzswole or a defender, all-rounder. You should check that for your team that are a little bit more squishy per se. Here I do miss the Gardevoir coming towards me, but we do in fact get him, so it's not that big of a deal. Here I'm just poking Rayquaza, just trying to do some damage. I see Tyranitar. He's not that high of a level, because he has been a lot leveled gate from being Tyranitar, so he's not that big of a threat towards us. Here I do a little bit of a misplay by trying to deal with Venusaur. Venusaur just completely shreds both me and Aegislash's shield. So what the best play would have been here would just be to recall. You're going to see in a moment why I think that would have been the best play, because not even Venusaur, who had its shield, was able to score. Fennekin wasn't able to score. It had shield. But here, I go down, Venusaur goes down, and the enemy and our Fennekin almost is getting down. It goes down right there, and unfortunately, all of us except for H Slash are up, making it really hard for H Slash to sort of defend. He's not really good at defending per se, because he can't attack fast like that right there. He could have prevented that if he was another Pokemon like Cinderace or anything like that. Here I did pin the Tyranitar, but unfortunately that Venusaur goes AFK for a little bit, and he could have prevented 100 score on us. So it's a really nail biter scenario right now. I don't know who's ahead at this point, if we're still ahead or if the enemy team is now ahead because of that Tyranitar score. I'm trying to score, but I know I'm not going to be able to make it, but it's still a try. So here we're going to see who in fact won. Like I said, it's really close. It's coming down to the nail. Seeing who we got 524 and they got 443. Now, this was a really good Buzzswole game, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video of Buzzswole. We will see the stats and everything like that. Hope you guys enjoy. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.